Cody Zeller, as I said, 10 points and 10 rebounds, really did not impress anybody. A lot of people had him falling down the draft big board.
I had some people asking me this on like a live chat today about, he's obviously not NBA ready. He can't go. He has to stay one more year. It's like, what does NBA ready really mean? I mean, does he have to be an all-star to justify leaving early? There's a grander question for him in terms of what he wants out of life at this point, in this year. I mean, he certainly is only, not far away from his degree. He can graduate in December if he wants to. I don't think he has to be an NBA all-star to justify going early. I think you have to say, okay, well, what's the next logical step in his development? And I don't know that he necessarily makes the next logical step in his development in college. I think, that's not to say that I don't think the coaching job has done a good job with him. If he's ever going to have to deal with that level of physicality, he's got to deal with it all the time, and what better way than going in the NBA now? If somebody wants to take him and somebody wants to, make the investment, if they're confident enough in his ability to eventually be a good NBA player, they're willing to take him as a first-round pick, it makes sense to go, because it's like, well, how are you going to get, are you really going to get that much better playing, maybe Adrian Payne for another year? I mean, probably not. I mean, I don't know how he gets that much better by sticking around another year and playing most of his games against big men that can't handle him. He doesn't have to walk in there and be, Shaquille O'Neal and be this dominant center and, be an NBA All-Star. He just has to be ready enough that he can get something out of going there, and I think he still can.
With Cody Zeller, a lot of people are going to be talking about him going to the NBA draft. We've seen some flaws, and we've seen some very, very light positives in his game. One flaw that I see, however, every single game is that he always picks up 1 to 2 charging fouls because he simply just lowers his shoulder when he sees the one-on-one matchup, when he's at the free throw line or at the elbow. I mean, that can be changed easily. When he grabs a rebound offensively, and it's not necessarily a Joakim Noah tip-in, I'm talking two-handed rebound, it seems like he always brings it down. He brings it down to his waist. He tries to make one more move right by the tin when he just need to go up. Those are a few flaws that I see. What do you see?
He just at the rim, he's just not as physical as he needs to be. And I think this time, especially these last couple weeks, and especially these last 2 games, I think he tried too hard to get contact. The first game against Temple, it seemed like he tried really, really hard to get contact and was flailing a lot and throwing the ball up in the air and figuring that would get him a call, and it didn't. This time he couldn't get any calls. I think he did go strong on the basket, and he still got stuffed. And I think he's got good hands down there, and he when he gets up there, he can finish well. But he's got to get stronger, finish stronger, be more physical, and just dictate and really dominate better. I mean, you just didn't see him overworking these guys. You just didn't see him looking like a dominant force in the NCAA tournament.
But when I see him try to draw contact over and over, it just reminds me of Hansbrough when he was at Carolina. Trying to draw contact, getting hit on your left arm and throwing it up with one hand. I mean, it's just reminiscent of Hansbrough. So let me ask you this. It seemed ridiculous to ask towards the middle of the season, but now it seems like I have to. Do you think he will be a better professional player than Tyler Hansbrough?
I think so, yeah. I mean, and the thing of it is, I think his game's going to change. I don't know that he'll necessarily play as a 5-man or anything like that. I think he's got better all-around skill set. I think there's just certain things he can do that not a lot of people can. I think the speed for a big man makes a difference. I think it's big in the NBA. I think he'll certainly be able to play in transition, be sort of a rim runner, and I think that'll carry him a little bit further. He's got the jump shot. I think you'll see more of that in the NBA. I think maybe he'll just step away from the bucket a little bit more. He could be more of a 4-man in the NBA and play maybe with a bigger 5, play out from the basket a little bit more. Maybe that makes a difference. I think there's certainly obviously a market for that more sort of athletic, more skilled, less bulky big man. Guys like Tyson Chandler and stuff like that.
Dustin Dupirek of the Bloomington Herald-Times, a hell of a season, yet a disappointing finish. 71-60 loss against Syracuse. That was a score. 61-50. Had a feeling that was off. Yeah. Dustin, thank you so much for the time. A fantastic season, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Absolutely. Thanks as always, and anytime.